What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Josh Reese back at it again with another video. And this time we're going to be talking about why medical school is so long. Why it takes forever for you to get your medical license and practice as a doctor. But before we get started, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe, and we'll get right into it. So, for those of you who don't know, medical school, the school itself is 4 years, just as long as an undergrad typically is. And after that, if you want to specialize, which you don't have much choice, you usually got to, if you want to do what you want to do as a doctor, then it's typically 3 to 5 years of residency after that to do what you want to do. Now, some of you may be thinking, I didn't know medical school was 7 years minimum for most people. And it's because it's so hard to get exactly what you need to do and be so good at it. So the first 4 years of medical school, in medical school, is a didactic learning, where you just learn about doing what you want to do. For example, learning about the arms, the muscles, the eyes, everything like that. And then the last years of residency, that's when you actually get out there and are able to see doctors doing it on people, get to practice it on people, and really get exposure in that field. And so some of you may be thinking, why did it take that long? And the real reason is, at the bottom of it all, is that because for medical school students, you go to school first and choose what you want to do second. So even if going into medical school, I want to be an OBGYN, it's still going to take you 7 years to get through it. If I want to be an ophthalmologist, right, it's still going to take you just as long to get through it if you go through medical school. But that's also the reason why you can become a doctor, a medical professional in other professions, if you know what you want to do before, without having for it to take 7 years or 8 years. And that's why, let's say if you want to be a foot doctor, don't just go to medical school and specialize in becoming a foot doctor. You can become a podiatrist and go to podiatry school. Now, a podiatrist is a foot doctor. You see people who have bad feet. You help them get better feet. You prescribe things. You can assign medicine if you have to. You can do surgeries on feet. You are a foot doctor, and a doctor in every sense of the word. But you don't have to go to medical school to be that. I think that's what a lot of people don't understand, is they always think, if I want to have that title doctor and work on someone's body, help someone in the healthcare field of it, I have to go to medical school. And that's completely wrong. There are plenty of professions out there where you just have to go, know what you want to do beforehand, and that way it doesn't take so long in medical school to figure out what you're going to do. Now, typically doctors who get an MD or a DO usually get paid more to compensate for their schooling for as many years as they had to do, but they don't get paid much more, right? You can find a podiatrist that makes just as much as someone who specialized in foot surgery in medical school. Now, there's also optometry. So let's say you wanted to work with someone's eyes, but you didn't know about optometry school. You go in, do your 4 years, figure out you want to be an ophthalmologist, then do another, I think it's 4 years in residency afterwards to do eye surgery. But you didn't want to necessarily do eye surgery in the first place. You just wanted to work with people's eyes. That would be a waste of time. You could have gone to optometry school, applied to the optometry schools, gone through just 4 years of education and maybe 1 year of optional residency. For optometry school, it's only 1 year of residency because you already know what you want to do, and it's not surgery. So, even though optometrists are allowed to do some forms of surgery, so that would save you, at least 3 years of your time, and 3 years of earning $200,000 a year by practicing in that time you missed. Let alone the stress that going to a medical school would cause you versus going to an optometry school. And then there's more ones, like, let's say you didn't know you wanted to actually be a doctor, you just wanted to work with patients. In general medicine, you could become a TA, or a PA, a physician's assistant, and you'd still do all the dirty work. You'd still get your hands dirty. You'd still see people, treat a lot of things. You're necessary, in most people's eyes, you would be the doctor. And that, for a PA, is only 2 years. And people just don't know this. So people go through a long, long time of medical school without knowing there's options out there. Let's say you wanted to go to the biochemistry side, you could become a pharmacist. If you wanted to do the spine, you could be a chiropractor. All of those schooling would take significantly less time than going to medical school. And there are some medical school routes that are advanced. There also are some, podiatry, chiropractic, optometry schools that can, get you through in 3 instead of 4. But that's just a general rule. Now, I don't think it has to be this long, really, because with most of the prerequisites they ask you to have for medical schools and things like that, most of them, the first year of all of these schools is basically doing a repeat of your undergrad. All of these prereqs they've asked you to take, they basically ask you to take these basic science classes over again in your first year. So you have almost a full year of school that really is repeat. And now that's kind of sad, but usually on the brighter side of things, it's because they want to make it applicable. So you're not just learning about biology, you're learning about biology as it relates to medicine. You're not just learning biochemistry, you're learning biochemistry of the foot, of the eye. Able to apply it a little bit more. At least in most schools, they do that. So you have the first year basically is all basic classes again, and then the next 3 years you get some clinical experience towards the end, but mostly just learning about all parts of the body. That's one thing that I think is funny too, is as an eye doctor, as an optometrist, you look at the courses and it's not just, you have courses about the eye all 4 years, but even optometrists, you have courses on the liver, courses on, how it affects diabetes. You become a doctor in every sense of the word. You know about the whole body, but just how the eyes relate to the health of the whole body. And so no matter what you do, no matter who you are, if you come out with a doctorate degree to help somebody in the medical field, you become a healthcare professional and become a doctor. You're basically familiarized and can treat, can help the whole body by the end, no matter what you do. So if you're out there and you don't want to waste 4 years of your life extra that you don't have to, consider what you want to do before you go to medical school, and that could potentially save you 4 years, $400,000, not to mention the amount of debt you'd go through in those 4 years. But as a resident, you do make money, but it's not comparable at all to the money you'd be making outside. So that's just my 2 cents about why medical school is too long in some cases. and if you're going into it, to know why it's that long and what you should be expecting. See you later. Bye.